We welcome everyone in to another edition of the Stingers Up Sacramento State Football Podcast. We know many of you over the last couple of years have been checking this out via audio, but we should let you know it's also available on video. Check it out at Stingers Up on YouTube. That's where you can find our football podcast. So you got both choices here, and we got a couple of choices for you today on the podcast. Coming up, we're going to have a conversation with senior punter Cal McGough and kind of learn a little bit more about his magic, how he delivers those effective punts and even fake punts that we saw last week at Nevada. So that's coming up. But right now, let's get a conversation. I had a chance to sit down with head coach Brennan Marion. All right, well, welcome everyone into another edition of the Stingers Up Sacramento State Football Podcast. I'm Jason Ross, joined by the head coach Brennan Marion, getting ready for the home opener.
That's
Coach. Right. We'll get into that in a moment. I always like to look back at the last game. So many areas you guys improved, but I know you wanted the result of the W. How do you kind of measure that where you got your improvement, but not the win that you wanted?
Yeah, week one to week two, I thought in week one we got kind of out-toughed, bullied a little bit. And we thought that, because we're talented, it would just happen for us. I think we learned that lesson in week two. You saw the improvement from our team. We didn't get out-toughed. We had a quality FBS opponent that we played, and we played them down, all the way up until the last seconds there up into the game. We had an opportunity to go win the game. We were physical in the run game. We were physical, as far as being up front on defense. So I was really proud of the guys on how hard they played, and they understood that we have to fight if we're going to win. And I look forward to them putting everything together. Now we know, obviously we have to be very detailed in our approach and making sure our hand placement is properly correct. Maybe we're not allowed to do things that other teams are allowed to do when it comes to that stuff up front. But I think we'll get those things corrected, and we'll be ready to go.
You also had to overcome some adversity. Jaden Rashad had started and was playing well their first couple series. He gets knocked out of the game. But depth is something you've been preaching, and everybody's going to get an opportunity if they prove it. How do you think Cardell fared in his first run as a Hornet, really? Yeah,
he was awesome. I mean, he came in electric, led our group down the field. Made some big plays with his legs, made some good plays with his arm. You saw there with our, other than really the getting hit, there late in the game and the ball going out because of, him getting a shot taken on him. I thought he played a pretty clean game. He gave us an opportunity to win. He did his job as a quarterback, but also he was electric and made some big plays for us. So excited to see him moving forward with the ability to create big plays like he was able to.
Yeah. And you expect him to be the guy this week starting?
Yeah, absolutely. I expect both guys to play throughout the season. I think we're going to use a 2-quarterback system for sure. But Cardell was hot and he led us and he was rolling. So we're going to give him that opportunity to lead us out on the field on Saturday.
You have you've called plays a long time. You call plays here too, and every play caller has to go through like, was this the right one? Was this not the right one? Saw your quotes after the game. It was a play where you said, I'm going to be aggressive. It didn't work. How do you, kind of compartmentalize that after the fact when obviously you wanted it to work and it just didn't work out in your favor?
Yeah, I think what's made me successful in offense, if you look back and whether I was a receiver coach or play caller or even as a player, I've always played for guys that wanted to win the game on offense and not just leave it up to the defense to make all the stops and, do all those things. I think our defense was playing really well on Saturday. I'd say that my call there was aggressive to end the game, and we've done that for years. I mean, it's been successful for so many years on, offense. We end the game. We keep the ball in our hands. We take a knee. We finish the game, and that's what I was trying to do in that opportunity that we had, and just developing our killer instinct on finishing the game. And so maybe in that situation, looking back at it, I shouldn't have been as aggressive as I was. But it's easy to, in hindsight, say that, if everybody does their job and we execute the play properly, we're heroes, right? And I mean, that's just the way football works. I've been in the game for a long time. I understand the ebbs and flows, and, ultimately, it'd be a lot better sitting here 1-1 than it is 0-2. But I know we have a special team. I know that we'll be able to have a killer instinct on offense, and I know we'll get rolling in the right place.
Yeah, and then, it could have been the knockout. It wasn't. You guys went right back down the field. How encouraging was that? I know it didn't get the hand placement, or as you worded earlier on a couple of those calls, but just the fact that you guys went right back down the field.
Yeah, like I told our players, coaches coach, players play, and refs ref. We can't control that. What we did control was our response to adversity was really good. We went down the field, scored, got called back. We scored again. And then we put it in position for our kicker to make the overtime kick. So the offense definitely did their job in those instances of their back being against the wall and fighting. That was our big message about going into week 2. Like, I don't care if we lose on a rep, but I do care that we fight and play hard every single play, and our guys did that. And so ultimately, you would love for Grant to make that kick for us and us go into overtime and have a chance to go win that game. But I think, the way that we fought in that game, you could really tell, especially, from the standpoint of an FBS program being so thrilled and excited about beating an FCS opponent. They should expect to win that game. Mm-hmm. They didn't expect to win. They knew the way that we played, we had the opportunity to win that game. And so I think it gave us a great sense of confidence that if we fight and play hard, we have a chance to beat anybody that we play on Saturdays.
Well, that's the next one is this one. Saturday at home opener finally. It's Mercyhurst. What's the week 3 message then for the guys?
To really just put it all together, play a penalty-free game, to play together, play sound, and to just be explosive. It's time to really, I told them preseason's over. We had 2 games to kind of see who we were, see what the pieces are as coaches and players. Right now, it is time. Mm-hmm. It's time to go. The season starts this Saturday, and we're going to treat it as such. We are going to respect our opponent, and we're going to show them a lot of respect on the way that we play.
Yeah, Mercyhurst put up a ton of yards last week. Shorter stature quarterback in Urena, but a guy that looks like a gamer to me. When you've looked at them on film, what are some of the things that stand out to you about Mercyhurst?
Yeah, they have a really good receiver that I like, number 23. They have a quarterback who's a gunslinger, can get the ball out quick, operates their offense really well. They have some great pass concepts from the OC. They're more of a passing operation than they, the last 2 weeks we've played run-heavy type teams that, want to establish the run. This is more of a spread it out, get the ball out quick type of offense. So it'll be a good challenge for our DBs and our D-line to get home and, get some sacks and get an opportunity to affect the quarterback, and then our DBs to play some tight coverage and make plays on the ball. Defensively, I think they have a really sound scheme. They have a couple guys off the edge that can make some plays. Number 9, he played at Buffalo, familiar with him in the past. One of our coaches coached him at Buffalo. And then they have, some solid guys in the back end. But for us, we need to establish who we are this week. We need to put it on film, not talk about it, not tweet about it, but actually show it.
Yeah. And in front of the home fans, nice to be home finally.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you have a new team, this is, I tell people every week, I know we pretend like it's easy to have 70 new players and, just go out there and be undefeated. But in today's football, that's not really a real thing. You can still, I still feel like one great year can change our life. I still feel like we have an opportunity to have a very special season, and we have a special team. And I'm excited to show Sacramento the team that we have this weekend.
Well, it's going to be fun to watch, Coach. Best of luck this week.
Absolutely. Stingers up. Appreciate you.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. All right, here we are, Hornet Stadium, the home turf for senior punter Cal McGough. But it's not your original home turf, Cal. You got a pretty interesting story. Welcome into the podcast. Tell us first how you even got to America, even got to become a Hornet.
Thanks for having me, Jason. I originally am from Australia, from a small town called Geelong. And I was playing a sport called Australian Rules Football, which is kind of our national domestic sport. And we punt the ball to pass it to each other. So I grew up punting without ever knowing it. And my dad sent me to a little program called Pro Kick Australia, and they sort of helped develop me into a punter and sent off my film to Coach LePen, previous special teams coach, and I was recruited out here in 2022.
So what did you know back there about American football then?
I had played Madden a little bit. So
did you have a team or a?
Not really. I've come out to Sacramento, and I kind of follow the 49ers now, but I didn't really have a team, but I liked the sport. Mm-hmm. It was fast. I liked the big hits. So
yeah, you like to be hit?
No, I liked the big hits. I like the sport.
I was gonna say.
Cool sport.
So had you been to the United States before?
I hadn't been to America. The first time I came out here was when I flew out just straight into fall camp in 2022. So
wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is there a big culture shock, or you describe it? How was that experience?
It wasn't a massive culture shock. I think coming to another English-speaking country was, I was very grateful for that. But I think as I've spent more time here, I've noticed some subtle differences. But honestly, like American people and Australian people are both pretty cool. So it's been pretty awesome to be out here and meet some great people and have a great experience out here in Sacramento.
How about Sacramento? I mean, you're on campus, you've been a student, you're fully engrossed here, you've been a player for several years, and what's Sacramento been like?
I've loved it. I really like Sacramento. It reminds me kind of my hometown. Beautiful weather, nice greenery, city of trees, hour from Lake Tahoe, which is beautiful, probably favorite spot in just about the world, I reckon. And, hour from the Bay Area, 2 hours from the Bay Area. So pretty awesome spot, I think. I was pretty lucky to come out to Sacramento.
Yeah. And then your experience at school as a student, what have you been studying?
I study communications and I'm going for a minor in marketing as well. That's been super enjoyable. I mean, I just have met so many great people, great professors who have been able to guide me through my college career so far. And yeah, I've loved the school, I've loved everything about it. President Wood is amazing. Coach Marion's been amazing for my development as well. So couldn't have asked for a better spot, and feels like I just fit seamlessly at Sacramento.
Communication. So are you going to be in the booth with us soon? What's going on?
Maybe if you let me next year after I'm done.
So you are one of the few that's been in the program for this whole time. I mean, you've been a part of the Big Sky Champions, but coaching changes too. Like, how was that? That's not very common. How have you adjusted to having 3 different head coaches?
That was probably something that I wasn't aware of that would happen in college football when I first came out here. Coach Marion has been my 3rd head coach. Coach Taylor and Coach Thompson were both really awesome. Obviously, we didn't have the desired results last year and the year before. And I think everything that we were kind of lacking, Coach Marion has brought in and provided the players with. He's a real players coach. He really puts us first, and I think that's demonstrated through his actions. And hopefully we can reward him with a couple of wins coming up. We got 10 games left, so hopefully 10 wins.
Yeah. So for you as a specialist, because you punt, we all seen you do that. You hold as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you could you kick off if need be, kick field goals in a pinch?
I don't know if I could do that. I've never really practiced, but I think the boys have got it covered. Grant Meadows and Joseph Fireball are pretty talented, so I think we're good there for the time being.
Well, we'll get into punting in a moment, but let's start with holding. That's as important of a part of the field goal or extra point. Is that something you basically learned on the job here?
Yeah, so we practice it back in Australia, but obviously coming out here and holding it for a kicker is a completely different experience. I wasn't very good when I first got here, but I was punting, but I wasn't holding. Luckily, we had Connor Starts at the time, who was a great mentor for me and taught me how to hold pretty much. So coming in and getting that experience last year with Zach Schreiner, that was key in my development. And I feel like now I'm just as proud of my holding as I am my punting. So, yeah.
So sometimes snap can go wrong. It hasn't really happened. You've been able to correct all those if they have been off the mark.
Yeah.
But are you ready for the mad scramble, Cal rolling to his right, throwing a pass if, the fire situation happens?
Fire, I think, is in everybody's playbook. If it really comes down to it, I think I can get the job done, but hopefully that never happes. We call it an imaginary scenario. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to a scenario that has happened a couple times for you. I remember the Causeway a few years ago.
Yep.
Told it was your read. It was a snap. You looked, you surveyed. It was 4th and might have been 14. So it was pretty good distance.
It was, yeah.
You elected to run. One of the big moves of the game, helped preserve a victory in the Causeway. And this last weekend in Nevada, from the end zone, it's 4th and long, and you're rolling right. You're like, I got this. You got the first down. What are you seeing there? How gutsy was that play in your mind?
Going back to the Causeway, I think it was something that happened quite naturally. Like, obviously my punting style is to hold onto the ball and read the rush. And in the Causeway, that was just honestly someone broke through the line, and I just kind of looked up and there was green grass ahead, and I took off. And that's something that I've done for my whole life while playing Australian rules football. On the weekend and this year, Coach Wenger has implemented a scheme that really is suited to my strengths, and holding onto the ball is one of those things. Was able to hold onto it, look at the rush, and green grass ahead, so I took off, and luckily enough got the first down. So
when you complete it, you get the first down, you got it by a few yards to spare.
Yep.
That second, your offense come back on the field. What happens when you're on the sideline? Who greets you first? What do people say to you?
I think the first person who came up to me was Coach Marion. I saw him sprinting from the sideline.
Chest bumped you, I think.
He jumped up, chest bumped me, and that was pretty awesome. I kind of got caught off guard, but it just shows you how much that guy loves football, how much he loves his players, and I guess how much that play meant to the team to be able to preserve the drive on 4th down. It was pretty awesome, cool moment.
Yeah. Also in the game, you had a couple other kicks. One of them, I think, 62 yards, pinned down inside the 1 yard line. Like, is that peak for a punter to kind of execute it, get your gunners down there to down a ball inside the 5 like that?
Yep. I mean, it just comes back to trusting the scheme and trusting your teammates. Like, we have 11 guys on the field when we take the field for punt who will do their job. And if everybody does their job, hopefully we can get a good result. Being able to put the ball on the 1 is like, that's ideal. And Koa Akui was down there. He had an awesome game last week. Co-defensive player of the week for the Big Sky. And yeah, he helped out on special teams as well, downed it on the 1. So thankful for him and thankful for all the teammates really that make that play possible.
So let's take us through a punt. So snap comes in. That's the most important part. You got to get the snap and catch it. But I've seen you hold it differently. What do you kind of think first when a snap comes in?
The first thing I'm thinking is catch the snap.
Okay.
Because dropping the snap is, that's a nightmare scenario. As the ball comes in, I like a higher snap, so I'm able to look at the rush as the rush is coming.
Like chest and above? Or?
Yeah,
okay.
Really like chest or shoulder. I'd tell Adam to give it to my outside shoulder, and he's awesome at that.
And what are you watching once you catch it? Just what's coming your way?
Yeah, I mean, it's a general feel, and it's something that I was lucky enough, like growing up playing Australian rules football, that I was kicking around a lot of pressure my whole life, and I kind of didn't realize it would translate to college football so well. But basically feeling the rush. Okay. I'm making sure that the ball's not going to get blocked, or if it is close, I have to adjust the angle of the kick. That happened on the weekend. So yeah, I'm grabbing the ball, securing it, watching the rush, and then obviously once I know I'm going to have to kick the ball, I have to make sure the laces are out. Ball's at about 45 degrees, and I'm hitting the sweet spot coming through. And traditionally, as I roll out, I'm hitting a drop punt, but there's a couple of different punts that I do.
Yeah, because I've seen end over end kicks. You've had some spirals. You've had some where you harsh angle one way or the other.
Yeah.
Kind of what's the different philosophy from that point on?
Obviously, the traditional way of punting is to hit a spiral, which is the way I was taught in Australia from my coaches at Pro Kick. They taught me to sort of hold the ball at 10:30 to 11 o'clock if you're looking at a clock.
Yep.
With the laces held out like that, so that they help the ball turn over.
And it's kind of off the center to the right side of your foot? Then?
Yep, I'm hitting that bony part of my foot just on top. And, an ideal ball would be 5 seconds in the air, 50 yards. If you can do that every time, you'd be in the NFL, which would be nice. But then the way that I grew up kicking the ball is a drop punt. So that's where I roll out and I hold the ball basically vertical, drop the ball down, come through with my leg and try and hit that sweet spot that's kind of just under the ball, similar to a kickoff almost. Couple other punts that we have. I mean, we have a snap punt, which is where I hold the ball like this, kick it, make it go end over end from underneath, and then we have a
more difficult to catch.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. That's something that returners will often leave alone.
Okay.
And then we have a banana punt as well, which is kind of
I've heard about the banana.
Yeah.
Can you show us that?
I can show you the banana.
So what's unique about the banana?
The banana is really difficult to track in the air because it sort of drifts up there, and on the way back down, it's quite difficult to catch because the ball's spinning sideways. I think our friend Andy Fisk could probably tell you a thing or two about catching one of those balls.
Yes, at NAU he tried to. He caught one of your, I would say, conventional ones, but when you gave him the banana, it was a little different.
He had a bit of difficulty.
Yeah. So what can you show us?
I'll show you a banana.
Okay.
So I hold the ball out like this.
Yep.
Come through, kick the sweet spot on the left side, and therefore the ball should travel sort of outwards and spin.
Yeah, I can see why people stay away from that kick.
Yeah.
And I mean, also, is that a call on your own, or is that coming in from the special teams coach at all? Or
some of it is like left up to me. I have a bit of agency there, but I mean, you've seen like traditionally I'll just kick drop punts because that gets the job done for the most part. But different scenarios require different kicks. So that's when it comes down to Coach Wenger and myself to get that dialed.
And how much. For example, this week you have the home opener. How much are you prepping on what Mercyhurst does as far as rush, returns? Where are you on the film study of that?
This year, because of like what we're doing, it's required me to put a lot of time and effort into watching film, and I have just loved that. I absolutely love watching film. I've done so much research over the summer, even going back to spring, how to read rush intentions, how to counter box, how to, just know who's going to be rushing and kind of using that to my advantage in terms of how long I'm going to hold onto the ball, when I'm going to kick, where I should kick it. So that's been pretty awesome for Coach Wayne to allow me to sort of have that agency to prep myself and then, make a decision when I get out in the field and perform.
How about your own personal decision? This year has more games to go. Hopefully it ends in all the goals you guys have, but what's next for you after this season?
Well, I'm not too sure yet. I'll have a pro day, I think. Is it probably March or April next year?
Okay.
So I'll be looking forward to, obviously I've got to finish this season first, and then when pro day comes around, hopefully I'll be able to show off talent to scouts from NFL, CFL, whoever's willing to take a look at me. So, yeah.
How about your family? They're back. Have they ever made it out here to watch you play?
My dad came out in 2022 with my little brother. My mum and stepfather came out in 2023, and then I think they're all going to come out this year to see like the final games of my career.
Okay.
So hopefully not. Hopefully we play playoffs, but we'll see what will happen. But hopefully they come out here and get to see a couple wins and good performance. As
you more games to go, but as your time as a Hornet starts to wrap up, are there memories you think, man, I'm going to take this game, this play, these players? What do you think are going to be some takeaways for you as you look down the line?
I mean, it's hard to go past. In my very first game, we had Scat, obviously here, Cam Scatterby, who's gone on to the NFL. I think he took an onside kick back to the end zone with
everybody with
7 blokes hanging off the back of him. So that was pretty amazing. I think it's just not so much the plays like that, but just the time you spend with your teammates in the locker room. I'm just so fortunate to have a great group of guys around me. I think my favorite part about playing football is traveling at away games, being able to spend time with the guys. I mean, you've been on the plane with us. It's such a fun time. It's cool to be able to spend time with them and then go out and perform and celebrate afterwards, hopefully. Yeah, I know. It's been fun to watch you play, watch you develop. I mean, and you've got some, you're in the record books as far as some of the things you've done as a Hornet, and there's still more to go. Any chance we can get you to get a fake punt that gets you all the way in? Like, you've had some good celebrations, for the first downs. Do you have any things kind of maybe planned if there's even a bigger one ahead? I don't know. I'll have to speak to the fellas. Maybe they can teach me up. A few of the wide receivers can teach me a dance or something. Yeah. Getting all the way to the end zone would be a dream. That would be a dream, yeah. But we'll see. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Well, best of luck the rest of this year. It's been fun to watch you play and develop. And, maybe we'll have you in the booth soon, too. Hopefully. All right. Thanks for having me, Jason. Thank you. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode. My thanks again to head coach Brennan Marion and to senior punter Cal McGough. Thank you so much for listening or watching, however you take in our Stingers Up podcast. Remember the home game this weekend, the home opener against Mercyhurst, Saturday night at 6. Until then, have a great week. We'll talk to you next week on another edition of the Stingers Up Sacramento State Football Podcast. Woo.